Good morning and welcome to the morning break. I'm Rob Patz, and it is good to be here today. For those of you that don't know, and probably most of you, and those that probably wouldn't care either way, it is my birthday. So we are here for my birthday, and we're going to do a solo show today. I love the idea of doing a solo program, just you and me. And I think part of the reason for that is I really love to just be able to sometimes just kind of clear my head and talk to you for a while. And that's kind of what this is. So the morning break today, the special guest is me. We're going to talk about some interesting things in life, and we're going to talk about my birthday a little bit because you know what? It is my birthday, and we should do that. We should talk about it. We'll do that coming up here in one of the first segments of the show. And it's crazy. Woke up this morning, actually went to bed last night. And if you're one of these people that is a Facebook person, if you're watching us on Facebook, or if you have a Facebook page, you're going to realize that like people start wishing you happy birthday the night before. And for me, that's what happened. And I was up a little late last night. And I started getting like tons of these. And it's humbling. I don't think if somebody says it doesn't matter to them, or if that they don't look at that and care, obviously they're cut differently than I am. Because it is always interesting to see when people take the time, and it's a time. It does take time, and I realize now they have the whole virtual thing where you can actually just go down your list on Facebook and wish everybody a happy birthday. So I get that it's not everybody, but a lot of really neat friends reaching out over these last few hours of the day. If you're one of those people that follows this kind of stuff, I was born at 9:32 Central Time, which means right about now. One reason why I wanted to do the show, I thought it was kind of fitting. 9:32 a.m. Eastern Time. I was brought into this world. My mom had me, and voila, here I am. And you think about that, and I don't know if it's and I guess we'll get started and we'll do my first thoughts of the day. I don't know if it's because mom's not here this year. My mom passed away last October. And so this is the first year. And I don't know if it was because of that or because of age. You start thinking of what was your mom thinking when you were born? What was her thought process? What was she going through? And my story probably a little different than some people. My mom had to have surgeries. It's a long story, and one that probably one day I will share, but I was special. I was literally special right from the start. So that makes it kind of neat. But you think of, like, in first place, your mom was young. My mom was younger. She was not young because she didn't get married until later in life. And so, but she was still in what I would consider now having another birthday as somebody that was younger. And I always wondered, I wonder what she was going through now because of her surgeries and stuff. I believe she was in the hospital 9 days. It was 9 or 10, or she went home on the 10th day. I can't remember. But very interesting stories. I was born in the great state of Minnesota. And gosh, it is kind of incredible when you start thinking through those things of what your mom went through when she had you, and what that relationship was like for her with your, of course, in my case, my dad being there, and in family in general. It was neat. My dad was very proud, as you would only imagine. And it was a great, the stories I've heard, and it's fun because I come from a big family. My mom was the 11th of 12 children, And so I have aunts and uncles, and to hear the stories about when you're born and the family coming together, and our family was very close knit anyway, coming together, and uh, it's just neat to reflect back upon. And I know that for a lot of people, they deal with something that they have hard relationships in their family. They have situations where maybe they're alienated from their mom. And I encourage you to do this because I will tell you, and my mom and I had a fantastic relationship. I was an only child. There are things that I still regret. So if your mom's still alive and you're alienated from her, make the steps. I'm not saying, and again, I'm in no way a counselor, but make the steps. But also, hey, the reality is you have to protect yourself, and there are certain times and certain things you can do. So, I was actually born what would have been about 5 minutes ago, Central Time, and it's pretty cool. Good, cool things to think about. My dad couldn't be there because my mom's was a C-section, and it was a surgery. It was two things at once, and so my dad couldn't be in the room, so he was outside pacing with a bunch of my relatives, and it's kind of an interesting story, and very blessed time. And there's so many neat things I could share, but I want to talk about your birthday for a minute, okay? And I was thinking of this for me, so I'll answer mine here in this. Like, what was your favorite gift ever for your birthday? Like from your mom and dad, or from your mom, or whatever it was. What was the gift that you went, that was really cool? I had a bunch of different ones. I got a I was thinking of this today, and it was really tough because I got some really cool stuff. When I got older, I got neat items, but one of the items that, and people always ask me about this, and they ask me about my watch craze, why I love watches, why I collect watches. And I thought of this today, when I was preparing to do the show. For my 5th birthday, I got my first real watch. Like, I think it was and I wish I could ask my mom, but not being here, I can't. I believe I got a Mickey Mouse watch when I was little, but I got my first adult big boy watch when I was 5. For my 5th birthday, I got real watch. It was a Timex. I still have it, and it was one of those things that, I don't know, it made me feel big, and maybe that was partially why I love watches, and I have a collection. My wife will tell you, don't ask how many because you don't want to know. And it's true. And my wife delivers usually for holidays. I get watches. I've gotten everything. I've gotten some incredibly cool watches, including a Frank Lloyd Wright watch. That's hard to say, just so you know. A Frank Lloyd Wright watch from her that is still one of my favorites. It's so cool. Don't get to wear it a lot because it's like a dress watch, and you kind of, it seems odd with a polo. But yeah, I've done I it's that's how I got into it. When we come back from the break, by the way, 7 weeks coffee. Did you see the new mug? Kind of matches it's in the whole vibe thing with the ticker and everything. 7 weeks coffee. The great folks at 7 weeks coffee have been a great part of Abundant TV for this past year. We thank the folks there. Now listen, if you love small batch roasted coffee, you need to check out 7 weeks coffee. They are fantastic. I just inhaled. They are super fantastic. My wife, to start us off with, got the 4-pack. Get the variety pack to start with. Now, I am a fan of the dark roast, love the dark roast coffee, but let me recommend this to you. Get the 4-pack, enjoy different blends. Maybe you're not like me. Maybe you don't like your coffee really strong. Maybe you like it light, then you'll want to try out the morning blend. There's all kinds of great coffee. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order and get yourself some 7 weeks coffee. Yes, I am a snob when it comes to coffee. Yes, I love good coffee, and small batch roast coffee second to none. When we come back, we're going to talk more about that. We've also got some other stuff that we want to talk about, including revival on the campus of the University of Tennessee. We'll talk about it after this.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy, a life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Hey, thanks to great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10. And if you've never had small batch roasted coffee, you're missing out. Now you're saying, Rob, I don't like getting the whole beans because it takes too long. They have ground coffee and K-Cups. So you can't beat it. Now, I grind my coffee, and we've talked about this on the show. It's because I love the sound. It makes me feel like I'm doing something. It accomplishes that first goal of the day. My cup even looks fall-like, doesn't it? I love that cup. That's a great cup. If you're really smart, you remember that from a show last year on Abundant TV. People wonder if those are props or we really use them. We really use them, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, the super cool news. And we talked about this on the morning break a couple Mondays ago. And that was about revival breaking out on the campus of University of Tennessee. Now, the neat thing about this, and it's kind of a follow-up for us today, is this. That Saturday night that kind of launched everything has turned into a nightly praise and worship time and Bible studies. And it goes on night after night. And it hasn't stopped since. I think that's incredible. I think that's part of what we're seeing. And it's exciting to see this on campuses around the country. We're seeing people show out their faith. And I think that is awesome. I think that is incredible. I think it is so important. And I will tell you this. You're brave. You're brave to do that. You're brave. I remember being on campus as a 19-year-old, 18, 19, 20, 21, however old I was till the end. And it's really brave. And I hats off to you. And I'm super excited to see this happening. By the way, we were talking about my birthday and gifts and your favorite gift. And like, the other question I have for you, and this was an interesting question because the different people are different. I think different parts of the country are different. Are you a cake or pie person when it comes to your birthday? Now, for me, it's cake. It's chocolate cake, and actually, Kristen made one. It is a awesome cake. It's got ganache and the whole thing on it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It is currently in the refrigerator, and that alone is so wrong. It's like literally tempting me. It is in there, and I'm like, I can't have any. So, yeah, but it's there. But cake or pie? And of course, we talked about before the break. We talked about favorite gifts that you got, and I think that's neat. And was there like one birthday that stood out? And I was trying to think of that because I was asking myself these questions because when you do this kind of stuff, you like to ask yourself ahead of time, like, is there something in my memory bank that kicks in? And there are a few that really were kind of like set apart, different. For a few years ago for my birthday, we went to the Lowell Inn in Stillwater. And it was super fun because it was all of my family, Stillwater, Minnesota. If you've never been, Lowell, and if it sounds familiar, you probably watch Good Morning America every fall. They go there, they eat at the Lowell, and then they go see the fall foliage in Stillwater, Minnesota, which, by the way, is just a fantastically beautiful place. It has meaning to me because that's where actually my mom and dad got engaged. So the Lowell, and I had my birthday there, like I said, a few years ago. Their their Sunday morning brunch is second to none. Uh, I don't know what it is now, price. I wasn't paying because it was my birthday, but um, it was second to none. I've eaten a lot of brunches at a lot of country clubs and a lot of different places in my life, and it was second to none. Hey, listen, want to get into some other stuff because my birthday is only so exciting, just to me mostly. But we got some great economic news. Did you know? And I saw this on the news today that made in America purchases are up as much as, and they say this, there's like two different figures. One figure says made in America purchases are up anywhere between 12 and 15% for the quarter. That is great news. Great idea. And listen, here's the challenge. Okay. We are 91 days from Christmas Eve, which, by the way, I was talking with Kristen. Kristen and I were talking about this yesterday. And originally I wasn't going to do a show on Christmas Eve. And then I thought, it'd be kind of fun. Maybe we'll do the Santa tracker. Who knows? Maybe we'll get the big guy himself on the show, like little pregame, 10:30 in the morning Eastern time. He's still got time before he has to get going for the day, but we're going to do that. But here's my challenge to you on this. And this is why 91 days to Christmas Eve. This is a challenge that I have tried to do the last couple of years, and it's not always successful because if you have certain gifts that you want to give somebody, it doesn't always work. But I will tell you, I have been looking for made in America stuff big time the last couple of years, and I encourage you to do the same. Like I said, up about 15% for the quarter. And something we've talked a lot about, and I find this to be super funny this year, is road trips are way up. The AAA talked about it today. They released stuff, and we've talked about it all week. Is that road trips are up, fall trips are up, just road trips in general for the last quarter are up, and I assume some of that is people traveling to their in-laws for Thanksgiving, all those kinds of things. But the interesting part about this is the first year that road travel has been up in 10 years. So people planning to take a road trip to wherever it is they're going instead of flying is up. And that is, like I said, the first time in a long time. And I find it to be interesting. And I wonder what the whole reasoning behind it, because you always like, okay, so what really is happening? What why are people all of a sudden much more inclined to take a road trip? And I don't know. I don't know if it's the gas prices being down, which they are nationally. Some places in the country they're still up, but nationally they're down. Oh, I don't know. It's interesting to me to look at stuff like this and kind of go, huh. And hey, listen, we also talked about another thing earlier this week, and I wanted to follow up on this. And Delta, my favorite airlines, you know that. I'm not shy to talk about the fact that I love Delta. They are now launching a nonstop trip to Sardinia, Italy. Now, Sardinia is an interesting. There's an interesting history behind it. It is what they call a blue zone. And if you're not familiar with this, I wasn't either until about, I think it was 6 or 8 weeks ago. I saw a video on YouTube about blue zones, and I was like, what's a blue zone? And so I did the thing. It's where the life expectancy is longer than normal. And here's the interesting thing about this is where people usually live to 100 years old. Sardinia is one of those places. I don't know why, and I, to be honest with you, not even going to speculate. I think it's because they eat pasta. I love pasta. I wish that we all could eat pasta all the time. But that's interesting news. Delta, of course, doing. I would love to go there. Italy is actually one of the countries I do want to check off my bucket list. Also, time for food that is fall. And I want to ask you this question before we head to break. What is like something food wise that you think of when you think of fall? I know a lot of people think of chili. Do you think of pumpkin pie? What do you think of? What is a fall food for you? For me, pumpkin pie definitely. Chili definitely would be soups in general. I had soup on Sunday for the first time um, in a long time, and it just felt good. It felt fall like. Anyway, when we come back from the break, it's going to be my final thoughts for today's edition, and we'll do that after this.
Social media today is noisy, divided, and too often hostile to Christian values, a place where truth is twisted and faith is often silenced. What if there was a place for believers where you could share your story, grow in your faith, and be encouraged every day? Introducing Acts Social, the #1 Christ-centered social platform built to unite Christians worldwide in truth, hope, and love. Share your faith openly. Discover powerful, uplifting content. Join prayer groups. Encourage others. Find news and events from a biblical worldview all in one place. And do it all free from big tech censorship, invasive tracking, and endless ads. Because the body of Christ was never meant to be scattered. It was meant to be together, every day, everywhere. ActsSocial.com, the fastest growing platform for Christ-centered connection. Join us and be part of something eternal.
Hey, I want to thank the great folks at Acts Social. Acts Social, if you've never been, and let's just be honest, maybe you're tired of social media. Maybe social media, the noise of social media has kind of overwhelmed you. I had a friend of mine tell me they unplugged for like a weekend and it was amazing. And maybe that's your way to do it. But maybe there's a place like Acts Social, actssocial.com, ACTSsocial.com. Use the promo code ATV when you go there. We are one of their corporate sponsors. My wife and I believed in it so much that we decided to partner with them and came on board along with Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A and Turning Point USA to really kind of put our you basically putting our money where our mouth is. We talk about the fact that we want people to live this abundant life and to live with joy, peace, and strength and all of those things. And yet sometimes we don't do things to promote it. And this is one way we could. So go to actssocial.com. That's ACTSsocial.com. And remember to sign up. Then follow me. Follow all of us from the ATV team. Kristen and Jason are on there, I know. And Mr. Kyle, who we had on the show last week, he's on there along with Ephesians Pro Wrestling. So all of those things. And man, we have fun over there. We have the fastest growing group on there right now. So listen, if you love interacting, love hanging out, it's a great place. ActsSocial.com. Use the promo code ATV when you sign up. I believe you still have to use that, though I could be wrong because, of course, I signed up a long time ago. Hey, listen, congratulations to my Seattle Mariners back in the playoffs. They won last night. I literally stayed up because I was like, we were down 3-1. I was like, we're not losing to Colorado. This is not happening. Colorado's the worst team in baseball. We're not losing tonight. So they clinched a playoff spot. Now their magic number is 2. Chance for them to win the division, to win the AL West. That would be awesome. Also, congratulations. We talked about it yesterday to the Cleveland Guardians. Oh, not only did they catch Detroit, which hurts me deeply, but also are now in first place, if I'm not mistaken, or tied for first. I can't remember. Hey, listen, we appreciate you. By the way, and I didn't want to talk about this because it's a happy day. It's my birthday. But my fantasy football team is 0-3. 0-3. I got to be honest with you. I've played fantasy football for a long time. like 27, 28 years, 27 or 28 years. I cannot remember a time any of my teams have ever been 0-3. Just not been my year. Just not been my year at all. Of course, you'll probably hear about that tomorrow. We've got Thrive, Jason Webb and I, 10 a.m. Eastern time for Thrive. It's going to be a great show tomorrow. 0-3. Golly. Hey, by the way, close this out kind of with something interesting, something you can dazzle your friends with. Today is National Punctuation Day. And of course, punctuation is important. If you know me, if you're one of my friends, you're going to realize that I don't punctuate at all. You're just getting a run-on sentence from me. And you're going to have to figure that out. I may be one of those people that every once in a while does the ... and then moves on to a new thought. But you're not getting it. It's not happening. I'm not punctuating, especially in text. Now, if I'm writing something that, is going to be for print or something, of course I'm going to punctuate. But if you and I are texting, you better figure it out. Whatever it is, whatever is on there, you better figure it out, because I'm not punctuating. And if you can't figure it out, then probably we shouldn't be friends. How about that? How about that? Oh, thanks so much, by the way, again, for all the birthday wishes today already. And it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. It is crazy. I want to thank each and every one of you already. It means a lot. A lot of great text messages. Actually, during the break, I was looking at some of them, and also great messages on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on X, which was neat. Never had birthday wishes on X before, but that was the case. And it's been a great day. I'll be honest with you, leading up to today, I kind of dread it because it was the first without my mom. But I want to tell everyone that has been with me today on the show, as far as watching and commenting, and everybody who's texting, thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate you so very much. Again, tomorrow, Thrive with me and Jason. I know he's going to talk about how good his team is doing. And I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that. I'm worried about my I might snap, and that wouldn't be good. We've got some great guests though on tomorrow's show. And remember, hey, listen, if you are thinking of starting a podcast or a TV show, it's what I do for a living. Actually, over the last 25 years, I've helped over 300 people bring television shows to air, and I would love to talk with you. I can help you. I can be your coach. I can do all those kinds of things from start to finish. Just reach out to me, whether that's through a text message, email, or a DM, and we would love to sit down with you and become your coach. We can be your podcasting coach. Hey, listen, appreciate it. Thanks so much. Taking this time, drinking some coffee, and hanging out for your morning break.